Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. I still don't have a voice. Thank you for noticing. So Daniel Penny was found not guilty in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. You know, thank God that justice was done here in a time where essentially the BLM mindset has created a travesty of justice in so many ways in our society. But that is no longer the case. At least here, let's pray that God would allow justice to continue to reign in cases like this.
Hey, real quick, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know, when you like this video, you're not agreeing with the insanity. You're helping push this video out to more people to help spread the truth.
It says here, Daniel Penny was acquitted Monday of criminally negligent homicide in the chokehold of Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old homeless man with a history of mental illness whose final moments on a New York City subway train were captured on bystander video. I'm sure everybody's seen that video. The decision on the fifth day of deliberations, it was taking a while. Everybody was like, what is going on? You know, this typically would have indicated that something was going to be decided that wasn't going to be justice for Penny. And think about these jurors as well for a minute. I know they're anonymous, but all it takes is someone within the system wanting to start a revolution. And I'm going to show you some reactions, all the major reactions in just a minute, and show you some reactions from BLM as well, and how just absolutely insane our society has gotten when it comes to DEI justice, essentially. But think about these jurors who had to make a decision that they know is like, do we decide the right thing and potentially put our lives at risk, or do we go along with the system to make the wrong decision and convict Penny just so that we can essentially not have the mob come after us? That's how we have to live today. It's terribly sad, extremely frustrating, and it's something that I think, you know, America rebuked during this election. They rebuked this insane DEI wokeness that has infected everything, including the justice system. But Penny faced up to 4 years in prison, so the judge gave the jurors the negligent homicide charge to deliberate. And, you know, they were really hoping to try to get something here on Penny. As the jury foreperson read the not guilty verdict, some observers in the courtroom applauded. Others began audibly sob and yell, including Neely's father, who, by the way, Neely's father has already filed a lawsuit against Daniel Penny on Wednesday of last week, while the jury was still deliberating. This is from Charlie Kirk. Andre Zachary filed the suit in New York Supreme Court seeking damages in the sum which exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all lower courts, which would otherwise have jurisdiction. Daniel Penny may be free, but they still want to ruin his life and bankrupt him. You know, this is how the leftists and the elites want you to live. They want you to live in fear like this. They desperately want you to be afraid of defending yourself, of defending your family, of just defending those who can't defend themselves. They want you to be subservient to all of their radical whims, their wickedness, their depravity, their evil, their lies, everything. They want you to be submissive to them and them alone. They want to have complete control over you. So that's why they do things like this, these politically charged attacks against this is somebody who defended people, yet they desperately want to ruin his life for defending others. Now, why on earth would they want you to not be able to defend yourself?
Breaking news. The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now, remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter. They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on this lesser charge. negligent. They now say not guilty.
Look at this. Daniel Penny's acquittal marks the end of the BLM era. Ron DeSantis said the acquittal of Daniel Penny is clearly the just and correct verdict. I must admit, I was skeptical that a jury in New York City would reach a unanimous not guilty verdict. Who wasn't? Everybody was. Absolutely. And the jury deserves credit for doing the right thing. And they do. They really do. Again, they could have absolutely just gone along with the system, done the safe thing. And then DeSantis says, meanwhile, is there a worse prosecutor in America than Alvin Bragg? I think we all know the answer to that. But you know, the way our society is right now, the reason why a lot of people bow down and go along with this insanity, this radical agenda, this depravity, is because who are you going to kind of give in to? Are you going to give in to the people that are saying, hey, we disagree with you, but we're not going to physically hurt you. We're not going to do anything against you to hurt you or try to destroy you, but we disagree with you? Or are you going to give in to the people that are like, if you don't give in to us, we're going to destroy you? We've proven that. We've shown that. And you will lose everything. You will be destroyed. Your family will lose everything. And we will make sure that the rest of your life is miserable and filled with nothing but destruction for the rest of your days. Jordan Neely acted erratically, scaring subway passengers. Daniel Penny intervened to protect others, using a hold to restrain, not to take life. Police confirmed Neely had a pulse, but failed to provide proper CPR.
I want to give a shout out to Daniel Penny, acquitted, for saving all them people on that New York City subway system. That man did nothing wrong but save people being threatened by a convicted, multiple time criminal. Now y'all want to demonize him because maybe he shouldn't have went as far as he went. But that man really believed, he's a Marine, he really believed he was saving people that day. And he did, from a criminal. But salute to Daniel Penny for being acquitted. Law and order. Y'all don't understand it because y'all rather celebrate the criminal in this situation and not this hero.
You know, that's what we've done in our society. We have created heroes out of villains, and then we turn around and villainize those who do the right thing. Again, they want you to live in that fear. The elites, the left, they want to create a society that's full of chaos. How can they create chaos? By making it impossible for you to do the right thing. Now, BLM was outside the courthouse the whole time. And now, since the verdict has came down, they're doing what they do. They're outside the courthouse. Police are arresting a lot of them because it's getting completely out of control. But they're calling for riots. They're calling for what was done to them to be done to everybody else, is essentially what they're saying. Now, I would play you these videos, but then I would be the one that the tubes would decide was inciting violence. Here you see one of the BLM leaders call for black vigilantes to rise up. And do what? What is he calling them to do? Of course, we just have to look the other way. Now, if you remember, before he encountered Penny, Neely, a former Michael Jackson impersonator, ranted about being hungry and thirsty and said that he wanted to return to jail and didn't care if he lived or didn't live. Witnesses testified. Penny, 26, a former Marine and Long Island native, placed Neely in the hold. Now, there's tons of footage, eyewitness accounts, everything that you would need for this to never actually even have a case brought against Penny. But there was still a case brought against Penny. Charges. Why? Again, it was politically motivated. But it's in times like these where the jurors decide to do the right thing and instead of the safe thing, because it allows society to overcome this absolute radical injustice that is penetrating everything. This insane woke agenda that forces you, demands you to bow down to it. Otherwise, be destroyed. Have your life ruined. But again, Penny's not out of the woodworks yet. They're going to come after him. Remember this proverb. This is Proverb chapter 21. Look at verse 15. When justice is done, it is a joy to the righteous, but a terror to evil doers. It is a terror to evildoers, those who seek to unjustly try to destroy someone's life for defending others. When the decision comes back, not guilty, it is a terror because justice was served. And it reminds them of their own lives, that if they were held accountable for who they are, for what they do on a day-to-day basis, for the depravity that they decide to live in each and every day, then they know if they were held accountable and justice was done, it would be a terrifying thing to face. And it's tragic. It's sad to see people live like that, live in that. Let's pray for everybody involved in this case. It's really hard to do. I understand that. But the Bible calls us to. Let's pray for the salvation of those who were on the defense and those who brought the prosecution and the charges against Penny. And let's pray for Neely's family as well, that ultimately God's will would be done in their lives, but that they would find salvation through Jesus Christ and truly be able to find peace. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you regularly. And please hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.